So the WNBA have a new CBA offer, and it's at the stage where if we're not extremely close, like again, the players don't have to accept anything. We don't know exactly what this deal is, but if we hear one word about slap to the face or calling out Adam Silver or anything with this offer, we then need to question whether or not these players even want a CBA. So not whether they even want to play basketball. We genuinely, if it turns out that if anything like that happens, because by the way, the players don't have to accept this. They don't. The players don't have to accept anything. But we're now at the stage where it's like, you have to be extremely close. Like, if you're not going to accept it, that's fine. But we have to be extremely close. Because I remember when Breanna Steward was talking about Unrivaled and they were offering people $250,000 a year. Like, they were like, as the average salary. That is the minimum salary. By the way, the average Unrivaled salary is now the minimum WNBA salary. The minimum WNBA salary is double the average Unrivaled salary. That is massive. That is absolutely massive. Like, people don't understand just how much money these players are getting paid. People genuinely are saying the base salary for Project B is $2 million. That's the benchmark. And I'm like, Project B is going to lose money for like an infinite amount of years. Like, they are going to lose money probably not for its entirety. They're going to lose money for at least 3 or 4 years, and they're willing to accept the losses. The WNBA are not willing to eat any more losses because they've lost money for 30 years. There's a big difference there. 2, Project B only has 66 players. The WNBA has 200. And 3, the Project B gets every bit of the revenue. So if it does succeed, they don't lose 58% of the revenue. The owner, like, they don't lose 58%. And thirdly, like, again, there's only 66 spots in Project B. So now but $2 million is not the base salary. $2 million is NECA's salary. Like, it's the base salary for your John Quells, for your NECAs, who are going to be making $1 million in the WNBA. It's not the base salary for random player number 73. Like, you're not going to be seeing, let's just say Maisha Hines-Allen plays in Project B. She's not making $1 million. She's probably making more money in the WNBA than Project B, just like the vast majority of people are. Just like every single player is going to be making more money in the WNBA than Unrivaled. But obviously, 1.1 million max, 220 minimum, and an average income of 460,000. This is the highest paid women's sports league ever. Sorry, this is the highest paid salary capped women's sports league ever. Because obviously, like, we're seeing it with the Trinity Rodman situation. The NWSL salary cap has fucked it. They can only offer 300 grand. And teams in England are like, yeah, we'll give you $1 million a year. We don't have a salary cap. We'll give you $1 million a year. We don't care. And that's what the thing is. I was like, if the players really want to get paid, abolishing the salary cap is the only real way to get players paid what they're worth. Because if there's no salary cap, then you literally get paid what you are worth for that specific team. A specific team puts a monetary value on you, and it's not based on a percentage of a salary cap. You're worth whatever the fuck they think you're worth. Whatever the owner deems you to be worth, that's what you're worth. But yeah, it's a really interesting thing to look at here as well, because now you've got this here, a rough patch to the CBA deal. According to AP sources, the latest proposal is designed to bring negotiations to a quick conclusion. They've been clashing. Only had a few private conversations with Kathy and me, private conversations with players, or lack of conversations led to some rocky relationship between the players. Becky Hammond said the players opted out of CBA. But like 1.1 million, and apparently they have revenue share. The one thing is that they're not going to get the revenue share percentage they want. That is just not feasible. And if you're wondering what I mean by that, like, they literally, I think they want a similar revenue split to the NBA, and they don't have 50%. Like, even like Fees even said as much when she was like, oh, it's a little bit different talking about us because we only own 42% of our league. Like, you're not going to convince the NBA owners to give up equity, to give up any money. Like, they don't own the franchises, because everyone's saying, oh, the franchise value go up. The franchise value is going up, I don't think is relevant whatsoever to James Dolan or Vivek Ranadive. Like, I don't actually think the franchises going up are of any relevance to these people. Is he still the owner of the Kings? So it's at the stage where even if the entire WNBA owners, all 12 of them, all 17 of them right now, even if all 17 of them want the revenue split, it doesn't matter, because you're going to need the entire, like, even you need the NBA owners to be on your side. But look, I think we're now at a situation where they have to be extremely close. Breanna Steward said it, and I think I forgot to say this earlier in the video, but I was there. I remember when she was talking about Unrivaled. She was saying, hopefully at some stage, our contracts have $1 million. Start with $1 million. No, start with $1 million. Sorry, our max contract is $1 million. This was 16 months ago. 16 months ago, $1 million max salary was a dream. Not something to be called a slap in the face. 'Cause I know a lot of fans are. A lot of fans are calling this a slap to the face, because they're saying the WNBA needs to outpay Project B. And I'm like, the WNBA isn't ran by tech bros. It's not ran by tech bros. It's a salary capped American sports league. And that's the unfortunate thing with the salary capped American sports leagues, is that you are, like, unless you are literally have the biggest, unless you have you are by 100 miles have the biggest pockets, which, by the way, the WNBA don't. And especially when it comes to Americans, like non-American owners. Because if you guys don't know, again, when it comes to even in football, the non-American owners, the oil money, tech bro, like super rich people, they're the ones spending out the big bucks. The American owners tend not to. Unless you have a non-salary cap league where you have the fucking Qatari sovereign wealth fund. Is it Qatar that owns City? Or is it Emirates? I think it's the United Arab Emirates royal family to own Man City, or Qatar to own PSG, or Saudi Arabia to own Newcastle. Like, it's hard to compete. It's hard to really put out these crazy salaries, because let's be real, Herb Simon would pay Caitlin Clark $40 million if Herb Simon would, without question, pay Caitlin Clark $30 million, because another owner would pay Caitlin Clark $30 million. That's the problem with salary cap leagues. And that's the one issue with this, is that the top player in a salary cap league, the top players will never get paid what they're worth, and the bottom player and the middle tier players will always get overpaid. Or you're now in a situation like the NBA, where there's no middle tier. You're either on getting a max money or minimum money. There's no middle tier. So anyway, yeah, that's the video. I'll see you guys.